Hey folks, it's Hooves of Doom here. I just decided to do a video about what I love about Games Workshop. It's a response to the topic of the week posted last Friday by Vince. And I wanted to just focus on what I really love about Games Workshop, which is the core of these videos, or the responses. And Vince did a similar video on Games Workshop called Respecting Games Workshop. It got a lot of views. This is 6 or 7 months ago now. And if you haven't watched it, go back and see it. It was really well done. There are some positive aspects about the business I do like, but I don't really want to focus too much on that. I think what really draws me in is, in part, kind of just good feelings about it. There's almost a degree of nostalgia with Games Workshop. Many of us have been playing for decades, going back to a time when GW was the only company that produced the games that we all enjoy playing. And many of us have made new friends, and because of this, we share the same experiences. We have the same, we've all been through the same process, and we've all kind of seen how it works and have been around for the ups and downs. And I think if it's nothing less than purely association, we have some good feelings towards Games Workshop, or at least I do. But it's the art that really draws me in. I like rules, but the rules are kind of like a representation of the universe that Games Workshop produces, as are the models. I love the models. I collect all the models. But again, they're really, the art to me is what underlies it all, right? As the universe, or both universes, as the case might be. My education's in ancient history, ancient philosophy, the classics, and GW, from its very infancy, drew heavily from history and from the classics to kind of produce its two worlds. Warhammer Fantasy clearly does have a lot of historical kind of roots that are very evident, and Warhammer 40k certainly is basically medieval Europe in space. It has a lot of the same type of atmosphere and outlook. And 40k initially was really just taking fantasy and put it in space. I mean, it even had dwarves and lizardmen and elves, and it still has elves. And I would say that there's some indication that Age of Sigmar is inspired by kind of like the current universe of 40k. So the two game systems are really intrinsically linked to one another. And I think that's always something to kind of keep in mind. I love the common themes, the overarching kind of artistic feel of oppression and death, and all the different icons and all our armor really share like almost the exact same feel in both game systems. And I love kind of like their takes on religion and how things work in terms of technology, the idea of the future won't get better. I think that's a very strong historical theme. And I think that there's some really interesting elements there. I love the fact that Milton's Paradise Lost is really evident in Horus Heresy. I love the fact that the Ultramarines, despite the blue armor, are really kind of Roman legionaries, although they're kind of like a caricature of the Asterix cartoons. If you've ever seen the Roman legionaries in there, they remind me a lot of that. And even as a child, I used to kind of look through the pictures of the Tolkien Bestiary, and I love that book. And the artwork, because it was years before the movies, is a completely different take. They're very kind of out there with their artistic kind of design. And a number of the pictures in there were actually done by the current art director at Games Workshop. He's been there since 1986, and I really love his work. So that's another big appeal to me, is that classical feel. And I love the fact that, this is kind of messed up when you really think about it, but GW has produced a world in which the most vilest, authoritarian, horrible regime is really kind of the good guys. Because the alternative to that is just utter annihilation and death. And, there's one art piece in particular that really sticks out in my mind, and if you have studied World War II and 1930s under Nazi Germany, there were these huge rallies at Nuremberg. Many of you probably know about these. And there is a early artwork drawing from 1990s that really ties in. It's virtually taking the picture from one of the Nuremberg rallies, which I've seen, and transposing that into science fiction. So they've replaced German soldiers as Space Marines and the swastika with the Aquila, and maybe that's not where the inspiration's from, but to me that looks like a direct link, and I just think that that's really bizarre that these guys are like the good guys in the post-apocalyptic crazy future of 40K. Eventually I might make a video that kind of traces the historical developments to the art. That's something that's really of an interest of mine. So those are the things that I really love about Games Workshop, and will probably continue to draw me to those two game systems regardless of changes and additions. So I hope you enjoyed my response, and until next time, have a good one.